Good evening. My name is Brightops, and welcome back to Mordheim, City of the Damned. Just before we get started, there is a slight note that I need to bring up. I've gotten several subscribers that have decided, for privacy reasons, not to make their accounts visible when it comes to subscriptions. That's all fine and dandy, but unless you make a post in the comments section, I simply won't be able to name a character after you. So that decision is yours. With that out of the way, we have a few new updates to the Warband. The first of which is the fact that we now have a name. After some consideration, I have decided to take such serious armor's one of his suggestions, and we are now called the Iron Wolves. Secondly, we've managed to give our two remaining members of the Warband proper names. Grey Vested and Trevor Yarnell, I think that's how you pronounce your name, forgive me if I've gotten that wrong, have now been selected. I hope to hear from you both in the future, so both of your characters can be given fresh color schemes and recommendations for weapons. Since I took a little bit of time off camera to do the little fiddly things with leveling up stats, we can now skip ahead to the official turn 2. Day 2. So let us go.
A new shipment has been requested.
And we have received our first shipment request. Occasionally, our patron will ask us to send us a certain amount of weirdstone. In this case, it is 75. He wants us to send 75 units of it, and we currently have 9. We've got 10 days/turns in order to gather the stuff together. So let's get on to that. Now let's see, what are our options today? We have the cache. Okay, for those of you interested, the cache, this particular side objective, is crush their will. What that means is you have to send someone to the enemy cart, take an icon from their cart, and run it back to your own. This is actually one of the harder sub-objectives to do, since especially early on, since removing the icon from the cart lowers the Warband's morale, which, considering very early on every loss can be pretty devastating to a Warband's morale, is liable to cause them to break before you can get their icon back to your own cart. And our two other options are marked for death, which we saw last time in that you merely have to assassinate a member or members of the enemy warbands and loot from their bodies. Let's see, what options do we have here? Poor. One is scattered into 3 teams, one is scattered randomly. Let us go with Horrors of Mordheim. We've got our warband together. Let's see where we go.
A hideous manifestation frightened your warriors and scattered your warband. Before you could regroup, an enemy warband arrived and deployed patrols to intercept your warriors.
Well, not the best. We have been scattered randomly around the area. We will not have the choice of ways. However, we are also, from the token of Sigmar, we are also fighting witch hunters. Yay. Which does bring me to my point. There's actually a subject that I wanted to bring up today that was brought to my attention shortly after I released my previous video. One of my viewers suggested, and I found myself agreeing with him, that's because that I should take some time to explain just who or what Sigmar is. Considering that Sigmar is devoutly worshipped by at least two of the Warband factions in the game, and even our own mercenaries have probably been raised in an an empire which has the cult of Sigmar as the state religion. It's probably kind of important to bring up what the cult of Sigmar is and how it came about. But first, let us do some quick looting of stone. Yes, as I'm sure you've figured out by now, picking up Weirdstone there's a chance for, as we just saw there, nothing will happen, but you'll also get the chance for debuffs, buffs, taking damage, being healed. It's kind of a mixed bag. Let's see. Oh, and I do believe we have found target number 1. Unfortunately, we do not have the points to actually get close enough to him. A problem, maybe, but nothing we can't solve. Let's see, where are I'm sorry if I go silent for a second. I'm just concentrating, making sure we're moving in the right direction. That's a Weirdstone cluster right there. That is there are different types of Weirdstone scattered around the map. We've seen fragments and we've also seen shards. Fragments are worth 1 piece of Weirdstone, shards are worth 5, clusters are worth 15. As you can likely guess, a cluster of Weirdstone is generally worth going after. Alright, but now where was... yes, I was talking about Sigmar. Well, Sigmar was about 2,000 years prior to the cataclysm that happened to Mordheim. There was no empire. There was no empire. There was a period of tribal warfare, with various tribes claiming territory and basically setting up their own. I'm not inclined to say kingdoms, but sort of similar to how history views the various tribes of Western Europe during the time of the Roman Empire.
A new round has started.
There was a lot of infighting between humanity, as well as various incursions by orcish clans and marauding beastmen. These tribes do have names. I will be upfront, they do have names, but they are Germanic in nature, and I do not have the confidence to even attempt to pronounce them. Sigmar was born into one of these tribes. According to legend, his father, who was the leader of the tribe, cut him out of his dying mother while the tribe was actively under attack by orcs during a storm with a mighty boom of thunder and a twin-tailed comet flying through the sky announcing his birth. By the age of 15, he stood taller than his fellow tribesmen and was one of the greatest fighters the world had ever seen, as well as one of the most devout worshippers of Auric, the god of winter, battle, and wolves, who was one of the most popular human gods at the time, and 2,000 years later is second only to Sigmar. But he deserves his own video. Alright. Now it's more or less our turn, because all of our people go now. Let's see what... Who needs to... Let's see, who was it that needed to die? Ah, yes. Wonderful. Our target has come to us. Gotta love it when that happens. Not a good start, Trevor. Not a good start. Now, that's a good start. Let's see where. Oh yes, you're over there. Could fight him there, or we can go over here in order to shore up our defenses a bit. No harm in making sure that our archers aren't that horrible things do not happen to our ranged units. Alright. Now, if the earlier tale sounds somewhat familiar to some of you, that might be because Sigmar is something of a combination of Conan the Barbarian, Charlemagne, and Alexander the Great. Shortly after his father died, when Sigmar was 15, his father was killed, more or less routing a Chaos Warband that had been coming down, raiding their way down south. He came to the conclusion that humanity had enough problems to deal with without killing each other, and dedicated his life to uniting the tribes of humans under his banner. Or, if they didn't believe in the religions that he did, killed as many of them as he could, and drove the survivors into a troll-infested icy hellhole. This would take many years to do, earning the loyalty and favor of the other tribes by helping them to defend themselves from outside threats, avenging raids that had been launched against them with purge campaigns, and in one case challenging the leader of one of the tribes to a duel in the world's largest temple of Auric for control of his tribe. Ew. Grey Vested is not doing well today. That's not good. Not good at all. As careless as this might seem, securing that cluster and a shard is honestly worth doing. I know it sounds horrible, but trust me, it's a cost analysis deal. Now we're gonna try and save him. Because I'm not about to let one of my people get ganged up and killed if I can help it. Let's see what... Sorry, Gray. I'm hoping you're not dead. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, Sigmar's jewel for control of one of the tribes.
A new round has started.
That's just unlucky. That was just brutal. This is not going well. This is not going well at all. Alright. Sorry to cut the story about Sigmar short a bit, just... Let's try and salvage this. This has not gone well. This has not gone well at all. Well, let's see if we can try and salvage this. If nothing else...
A new round has started.
Well, if nothing else, we're gonna try and win this one. I don't like our odds, but we will try. Alright, if we can kill him... Okay, we might be able to pull this back. Alright, where was I before I got... Oh wait, no, we've probably lost... Yeah, we've lost this. There's...
Your warband morale is critically low.
This has just gone terribly.
A new round has started.
Sometimes the RNG gods are just not kind. Let's see if our man breaks, or if he can surprise us and actually manage to pull through. No, he didn't. Well, this this is disappointing. Very disappointing. Alright, let's see what the damage is.
Any battle you can walk away from teaches you something. Sometimes it's just a list of things not to do next time.
Okay, fortunate return. Oof, losing a strategic point isn't great, but not the worst that can happen. Let's see. Amnesia again, not the, as I said, not the worst that can happen. Full recovery. We can work with that. Ah, wonderful. Grave Vest survived.
Fantastic.
And leveled up. Good for you, man. And
Your
Trevor, of course,
warband
didn't
is
die.
getting stronger.
And we can have we can get ourselves another recruit, another mook. Yay. Unfortunately, we're going to have to put Cyclone on the sidelines for the next one, since he actually took a proper serious injury. He will not. Well, it says 4. That also counts today. Once I hit the end turn thing, so he'll be available in after 3 more days, quote unquote. But we're going to need a replacement captain until then. This has not been a great day for us, but we will try and make do. I am sorry about having to cut the story short, but well, that happens sometimes. My name's Brightops, and I hope to hear from you all again soon.